जी सर लगा दी।
Okay, our today's session is related to how to run the payroll, monthly payroll basically, and see the result from the assignment process screen. And then we will see prepayment process as well. Now, basically, we are currently in the post payroll processes. Post payroll processes are number one is the payroll, second one is the prepayment, third one will be check writer or any other process, and then it will be a costing. Before costing, even you can run the payslip process as well to display the payslip. Then you have to run costing process, and then once we run the costing process, then we have to see the report, the costing results in the standard report. We can define a custom report as well, and then we have to do the transfer to GM. So first process which we will run today will be the payroll run. Whenever we are going to run the payroll, we have to select the payroll run option. So we will select the payroll run, and once we select the payroll run, here we have to select the payroll name. So which payroll name? As you see,
Monthly
we
pay.
created different payroll names.
Yes.
Okay. So because the main payroll is currently is a monthly payroll, so we will select the monthly payroll. Consolidation set will come automatically, and the pay period will also appear automatically as per the system date, because we are currently in April, so that's why it's automatically pick the date. If you see that list of value of the pay period, you can see till it's 2025 it is going. But we want to run the payroll for the month of 4. I just type 4. As you see, all the 4 digits come in front of me, and 21, 421. So automatically you will see 4/20/21 calendar month 30th payroll appears automatically. Element set and assignment set both are different functionalities. For example, I want to run the payroll only for specific elements. Okay, I want in element set, basically sometimes what we have to do, we can exclude the elements or include the elements. So based on that, we can create an element set of that. I will go through with that functionality in later session. Assignment set is also basically sometimes in assignment set, what happened that we have to run the payroll. For example, in monthly payroll, we want to run the payroll for only directors or only for managers. Then what we will do, we will create one assignment set, and we will include those employees for whom we want to run the payroll. And once we will create that assignment set, add that employees there, and we can select that assignment set name here. Based on that, once we will run that monthly payroll, system will see that, okay, we want to run only for 15 employees. So it will run the payroll only for 15 employees. Okay, that is some criteria based payroll we want to run. So once I click OK, I want to run the monthly payroll, click submit. Okay, in yesterday's session, we run the quick pay for 1 or 2 employees.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we run the quick pay for the month of April as well. Remember? So what will happen now in the monthly payroll? Those quick pay employees will not come, will not include, because their payroll is already run.
Already done, yes.
You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we run the quick pay. So that is also a scenario you have to know, that the persons for example, we run the quick pays, and now we are running the payroll, then means we don't have to run those quick pays employees will not come into the payroll. Now let us see into the payroll results by run screen. I will select monthly. In the payroll name, I can select here for 2020. I can basically yes. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Sir, there
Okay,
is
but
a
okay.
some internet issue, sir.
Okay, no problem. So you can see here, I can enter the date by myself. I want to see only the 2021 payroll. So I can enter the date by myself and I just select find, and based on that, whatever is happened in the month of April, you see. So
Yes, sir.
in this period, we did 2 quick pays and 1 payroll run. So this is basically the output of the screen where you can see the status of your payroll, and based on the status of the payroll, you can see if it is complete, means your payroll is run completely. And once I click on the assignment process, based on this assignment process, I can see all the employees whose payroll is completely run. You can see here. So in the end, you can see total records of that employees as well. Based on that one, for example, I want to, I want to see this employee status. Okay, I will first click on that employee. That employee need to come here, check, and then I can click on view results, and then I can see what is his basic salary, what is housing allowance. You can see here, because housing allowance transportation amount is zero. It is coming zero. Why it is coming zero?
Because
Because we just enter the element. We didn't enter the value for those employees. Okay. So that is basically, we will do it through data load. We will do that in later stage. What we will do here, let us do one thing for our next session. Let us export all these employees information. Uh, okay, no option is not available here, but we can do here. Once we click here, na, this export data, what will happen? All this employee information will be export into an Excel. So basically, currently, if if the error it is showing that web ADA integrator is not linked or something like that. So based on that condition, it is not exported. Otherwise, what we will can do, we have to just, because we have to capture the assignment number. Okay, assignment number is important point. Once we get the assignment number, based on that, we will say whatever the housing allowance amounts for individual employees, we can enter. And then we can upload it into it through the badge loader. We can do that through badge loader, and through, we can do as well through the data loader as well. But here the badge loader will work very perfectly. So we will show, I will surely tell you about how we can work on a badge loader. So this is the first process basically, which we can see that how we have to run the monthly payroll. Once the payroll is processed, you can see the status from the from the concurrent program, and from there you can see if the status is completed. Then you have to come into your assignment payroll process screen. Okay, payroll processes screen, where you can see all your payroll related items, actions which already run in the month of April. Here basically we can see all the processes for individual employee, but we cannot see in detail. And in detail we have to basically create and design a custom report. And that custom report is going to be designed by the technical consultants. And then once those reports will be created, then we can run the report as well from the concurrent program. But so far, I don't think so. There will be any report, but see, let me check from the concurrent program that maybe there will be any, you can say, payroll. I don't think so because we just select the payroll one. So it will pay, allocate payroll contract, mark employee payroll movement in the report. Processes are there. This is message report. I don't think so. It will be any beneficial report for us. Basically, these are, you can see from here, these are basically the reports. You can see here,
जी sir.
reports. We can run the reports, but these are not related reports. Number one thing, we cannot see any, I think, let me check what is the payroll movement report. So you can also get an idea how we have to, let us see this one. Okay, let's see. Summary only it is saying no. Just fine. Let's see what will be the output. Because there are basically some in core HR and in payroll, there are few, you can say, standard reports. Standard word, why I'm using standard and custom, basically when we are doing implementation or giving support, there are some standard features you already saw in at the time of implement setup, and we can design and do the custom add the custom functionalities as well. So this is one of the report basically runs. Once it's completed, we can see the view, click on the view output, and you can see only the summary. You see here, this is just the movement report where it is showing worker assignment at start date is 75, period ended is 75. Total 75 employees basically we processed in this payroll. This is the only information it is showing. Wherever it is, we have total 76. Why it is not showing 76 here? Because I think for one of the employee we have run the quick pay as well. That's why it is not including to this movement report. But the reports basically are where you can see the complete information. Means employee number, employee name, department, job, grade. Then you will see the basic salaries column, housing allowance column, all the details, all the earnings and all the deductions, then net, then gross, and then you can see the net amount column as well, based on your business, you can say requirement, whatever their requirement is, the custom report can be designed and developed, and then it will be attached, and then we can from here.
Okay.
The next step is basically, for example, now we run the payroll is completed and we reconcile the payroll. For example, there is one employee whose payroll has some issue. So how we can correct it? For example, this is the employee 72. Okay. Now now we are in the stage how to correct any employee's payroll. For example, this is one of the employee. We will go into the element entries, and now I will select that employee, and I will say, oh, there is some amount missing. For example, we are just want to correct something. So what we will do, let's add the value for the housing allowance. Okay. For example, I am entering 6,000 the housing allowance for this employee into the pay value. I will do correction. I will close this, and then I will do add the transportation allowance, and I will add 4,000. I will do correction, and I will do close, and now I close this. And what happened? for example, you assume that this is basically some correction we did. Okay, keep
Okay.
it in mind. So based on that, for example, we want to now do some correction. Okay, and based on that, okay, now I want to see the result again. I'm not going to run the quick pay or payroll again. There are two options. One option is we can roll back the whole payroll. Number one thing, but that will be a lengthy process. Why we are, you can say, giving an option to you can say the processor or the program to do this heavy exercise processing type. We want, because there is only one or two change, for example. So we want to do the change for one employee. So after that, the payroll is already there. Payroll is already there. Let me first show you the current result, and once correction, even we already did the correction. You saw, we enter housing allowance and transportation allowance, but it is not affecting into the pay value. Means it is not affecting into the run results. So how we are going to do it? Number one thing, first we have to click on this checkbox. You see, this is the box of retry.
Okay.
So I want to retry the payroll only for this specific employee. So I just click on retry. I will save this record. Once I retry the checkbox, you see now the mark for retry is changed. From complete, it is changed into mark for retry. Then I will go into the view. I will go into the request, submit a new request, click on OK. I will retry, write down here retry, and retry payroll process. Retry payroll process. I will click on the retry payroll process, and then I will select here the process name, which is basically retry. I will select retry.
Retry is not.
Not sure. Retry, not, I think it will be, check. Retry. Payroll run. Retry payroll run. Sorry, that was not the process. This is basically retry payroll run. So I will select the list of value here. Okay, because as see, we just check only one employee retry. Okay, so based on that, that automatically that list has only one value in the parameter. That's why it's appear automatically. So once I click on this, I will click on OK button. Then I will click on submit button. Click OK. No. Click on find. And once this will be complete, I will show you the result in the process screen. So you will get an idea that whenever we are running the payroll or when we are retrying the payroll, how we can do it and what are the navigation, what are the basically steps. Let us complete this process. So now it's completed. And let me close the screen and let me now refresh the screen. F11. Control F11. You see, this is complete now. So once I click on the view results, now you will see those amounts. You get the idea?
Yes, sir.
So here, this is basically the whole concept for means once we run the payroll, we reconcile it. After reconciliation, we thought we found that there are 4 or 5 employees in this payroll whose amount need to be correct. So first, they will HR people will go into that employee record individually. They will do some correction, and then they have to come on this screen, which is I mentioned you last time. This is the pilot screen for all the payroll processes, and based on that, then we will click on retry. This is the one step for individual employee. Now I want to, for example, there are a lot of employees. Means you, for example, we run the payroll and we saw that, oh, there one element is missed. Imagine, for example, means one element is missed and that element is missed for all the employees. So definitely then we have to roll back. Na? So how we have to do the rollback, the whole payroll, then we have to click on view, click on request, and then submit a new request and write down here, click OK. And then we will, yeah, write down here rollback. So yesterday we select the rollback, which is basically for different types, different processes. But rollback run is the process for the payroll. As you see here, once we select the rollback run, we can select those periods which we already run. You see, last payroll was run in 2010. You remember when we saw the whole assignment screen and in previous session.
Yes.
So today we run the payroll on April. So I want to roll back this payroll. I will select this payroll and then I will click OK, and then I will click submit and I will click no. Then based on this process, my whole payroll will be rolled back. And then I will add that element and add the values in that element for those employees. Once that process be completed, then I will run my payroll again. Then I will run the payroll. I will not retry. I will not rerun. I will run from the initial stage, from the step first, where we did means payroll run. Okay. So this is the whole navigation of our today's session about the payroll, monthly payroll, how we can run the monthly payroll, how we are going to try any change, and if we want to roll back the whole payroll, this is the process we can do it. Now, once, for example, the payroll is completed, then we will run the prepayment, and the prepayment process also the same process. Once we click on submit a new request, for example, the payroll is, for example, the payroll is already done. This is the I will write prepayment. This is the prepayment process. So we will select the prepayment process and we'll select the payroll, the same payroll names which we defined, and we'll select the monthly payroll and we'll select the date of that payment. For example, it is from 1st APR 2021 and it will be the end date of 30th. So that is basically the process which we have to run. Payment method override is an option that we can override. What will happen? This process basically runs for all those employees who have the payment method attached. Keep it in mind. Okay, because we already saw that process, how we create the payment method, and then we have to attach that payment method with the individual employees, because every employee have their own bank account information. So once we will process, then that complete payment process will process. It will say these are the net amount for these employees which need to be transferred into bank. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And if we want to see this field, means if we want to override it, the direct deposit method.
Hmm.
As you know, we have three methods:
Yeah, okay.
direct, cash, and check.
Yeah.
If I say no, run this check, so this process will run under check for those employees who have check payment method.
Hmm.
You get my point?
Yes,
And
sir.
the person who have cash, we can run the cash process. So this is the same way for the prepayment, and this is the same way. After that, we can also, you can say, run the costing. You just write costing, and it will select that costing process, and then we can run the transfer to GL. So see, now the payroll is rolled back. Okay. Now if I click on here, over here, you cannot see the payroll. See?
Hmm.
So this is the whole, my dear, the whole process, all the navigation, the payroll process screen, where you can see all your activities. And based on these activity statuses, you can control your monthly or bi-monthly or quick page processes as well. Okay? Okay for today?
Thank you, sir. Okay.
चलो, जज़ाकल्लाह जी, thank you very much.
Thank you.
इंशाल्लाह कल होती